5 fly fishing presentations. This is a case where yours truly would be in the water facing upstream and casting upstream, basically parallel to the river. Here's a situation where I'm doing so. And oh, by the way, getting ready to try catching me a fish, trying to keep it drag free, follow the bubble line or bubbles, making sure our strike indicators stand there. And oh, by the way, we got one on there. So there it is. Nice little trout. Okay, here's another situation where it's an upstream cast, but this time on a piece of rock or land, and I'm casting straight upstream, and I'm able to catch one. In this case, I've had the strike indicator and the rig right in the stream or the river, and I was basically following it as it was coming in, and oh, by the way, I got this guy to take. So again, you don't have to be in the river to be casting straight upstream. In this case, this is over there a broken bow where, well, I got this guy. Next up is the upstream 45-degree angle cast. So you're fishing upstream, but at a 45-degree angle. And here's the example of where I am fishing over there at the Blue River. Got my strike indicator and a drag-free drift following the bubble line or the bubbles, and I got this guy to take. And in short order, I'm able to bring him in, and got another one in hand to add to the stringer. Cool beans. Cross stream presentation. So I'm just basically casting across the river. And this is over here at Turner Falls. It looks like I'm at an angle, but it's actually the river is at an angle. So here's my cast. I'm getting it to the far bank. And in this case, I'm letting it kind of drift along the bank, but then I notice that they're in the middle of the river, so I'm going to start doing these short pulls, and I actually see one chasing the fishing fly, so I know that instead of just trying to stick with a normal cross stream no drift or follow the bubbles cast, instead I'm going to go and cast cross stream, but work it right into the middle of the river. And this has been helpful because I got my polarized glasses. I can actually see them, and I'm looking for a flash. And sure enough, there's that flash where I see a trout had struck, and I got this guy to come in, and I just got to go bring him in and land him here shortly. So again, this is the cross stream. The river's angled. I'm kind of at an angle as well to that river, and I got this guy in hand. Cool beans. Next up is the downstream 45 degrees. So think about going 45 degrees, but this time you're facing downstream. Here I'm at Possum Kingdom, and I'm setting up for that downstream 45-degree angle cast. I've done it, and oh, by the way, I kind of did a little different in presentation. I noticed that at the tail end or during the tail end of that 45-degree angle drift, that little twitch of the rod was making a difference in getting the trout to strike. So it was a kind of a slow day at first, but once I figured out that little twitch and that 45-degree downstream cast, I was able to live it out here shortly. Okay, last of the presentations is a downstream presentation. So I'm casting downstream. This is over here at Broken Bow. I'm fishing basically this seam right along the bank, and I'm just dropping my fly and letting it go downstream, and the fish are taking it. And here you'll see, I believe this is one of the rainbow trout. Yeah, it's a little rainbow trout. And then I continue on, and oh, by the way, that pattern worked on this next one. And again, all I'm doing is dropping the line, the fly, and letting it drift downstream in the same speed as the water flow. And I was able to get this guy as well. I believe this one's another rainbow trout as well as a brown trout. Nice stuff there. Okay, here's another downstream presentation. This is over at the Blue River, and it kind of looks like I'm at an angle, but actually I've got my line going directly downstream. It's just I was able to get my rod out there and position myself so I can get the strike indicator and my rig to basically go straight downstream. And all I'm looking for here is some movement in the line as well as that strike indicator. As soon as it moves, I set the hook, and again, follow those bubbles, make sure that you're matching that speed, and you'll be okay. And here's another trout coming to the net. And then here, well, this is back to Broken Bow, Lower Mountain Fork. Our buddy is kind of played out, and he's just kind of taking a little rest, but I see a lot of trout kind of moving in and out in this little eddy. And in this case, I'm not sure what to call this presentation other than you just got to do what you got to do, because what's happening here is the water's going back, kind of making an eddy or a pool, and what I notice is there's a lot of trout in there, and I can see them darting back in and out from the slow water to the faster water. And when I cast my indicator and with that fly, I can see that I can follow the flow, give that no drift piece, and watch for the trout to take. And in this case, I'll miss one as well as one will come by and take a look at it and kind of strike next to it. But this is not really one of the 5 presentations. It's what you got to do when you're out there and just recognize the situation. In this case, I'm just falling back to, well, I better just follow the water flow, make sure I have a no drag or a drag-free presentation, and eventually I'll be rewarded with a nice size fish that will take.
That it's still working the fly in the area, and we're hoping to get a bruiser to strike. Had several chasing the leading fishing fly, that Near Deere, and then we're just thinking just keep casting. One more cast. Well, it actually took more than one more cast, and what you'll see here shortly is a light strike. Right there. Got him. We're thinking it's a little guy, but
hey buddy, get your net ready.
But we find out quickly that we need to get some help and get the net going. So
come over here.
Get our fishing buddy, Nuke LaRouche, to get his net.
I think he hit the little hook. All right, get in there and see if you can get him.
Almost. Right there.
There's a snapshot of that one. That one turned out to be a keeper. And here's another one from the Blue River. This was in the blue zone when it was still a blue zone.